Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. Make sure everything is set up here. All right. If you guys are ready to get started, give me a 2. Chat. Want to roll? Let's do it. All right. And actually, I'm going to turn my, well, let's go ahead. We'll leave my video on as long as it's not too distracting. All right. So I want to show you guys first off how to build your lifestyle agency. This thing is about building a simple, low overhead, overwhelm-free agency model. That's what the entire thing is about. So if you're here to learn about that, then you're in the right place. Now, kind of the impetus of this whole thing was a few weeks ago. Tammy Critch, who's one of the members of our program we have called MVP, which you're going to learn about through this webinar today, said, for anyone feeling the pinch, excuse me, of agency overwhelm, this program is a beacon of hope. The practical wisdom and straightforward approach to cracking the scaling code are eye-opening. So if that is what you're looking for, then once again, you are in the right spot. But I want to go into what is happening right now in the agency space. And by the way, let me know in the chat, how long are you into this agency journey currently? A month, 6 months, a year? Let me know in the chat. I want to see that in the chat real quick. How far into this you guys are. All right. And I'll see those come in. I'll check back here in just a second. But here's where we're starting. All right. Agency owners today are definitely, and I think, let me know if you agree, are definitely more confused than ever. All right, 6 months, just getting started. Okay. Well, here is a screenshot of a guy named Jason saying, it's been 6 months. I still don't have any clients. I love the platform, open to suggestions at this point. Another one coming in. I started about 7 months ago. I'm finding it difficult to get clients. I have experience, blah, blah, blah. It's challenging. Right? So this is challenging. And then this one, I like this one actually, because it's been 6 months, having GHL, all that kind of stuff, whatever, cold calls. I'm trying all these things. I burned $500 on ads. And then here's this lovely sentence I love. What is the secret sauce that people are not sharing to reach a certain goal? I want to ask you guys a question. Do you think there is a special sauce? Yes or no? You can give me a yes in the comment or no. Let me know. Do you think there is a special sauce? Let me know what you think. Yes. Okay. Scott says yes. Anybody else? Scott's the brave one. Scott's the first one to jump in. Well, here's what people in this particular thread had to say. Please try video marketing. Make 30-second videos. Okay, there's a tactic, right? I've been doing LinkedIn lead generation for a long time. It makes me all this money. There's another tactic. It's a numbers game, like anything else. How many people have you called this week? Okay, it's a numbers game. Is this a special sauce? Is this what people are really doing to crush it in the agency space? Well, I've been doing this for a decade, and I'll tell you right now, none of these are the answer. None of them. All right. So strap in, because today we're going to talk about to be genuine. Okay. Here's what we're going to be talking about today. Now, back in mid 2023, I did a survey. Okay. Here at UpHex, we have a lot of agencies that are doing very well, but we also have those who are struggling. And I wanted to look into this agency overwhelm, this thing that I had been looking at. And I found that during this survey, I found two things that made it so people didn't stick around and didn't really make it in this game. So number one was I have no clients. It makes plenty of sense. If you don't have clients, you will not have staying power. I totally get that. The second thing that people said, in one of these two buckets, the second thing that people said was, I'm overwhelmed. This one completely caught me off guard. I'll be very honest. I didn't see that one coming. It didn't make any sense to me. I'm like, completely overwhelmed by what? And honestly, it wasn't by one thing. It was by a ton of different things. If you were to read all of the survey feedbacks I got, there is signing up new clients. What product is it? What's my offering? Creating a business model. And all of these phrases were revolving around this. I'm just overwhelmed, narrowing down to one thing. How many of these things sound familiar to you guys? Give me one in the chat if any of these sound familiar? Give me one in the chat if any of these sound familiar. Bad fulfillment, 6 months, no clients, narrowing down to one, outreach, getting clients, just getting started, high overhead. All of this stuff is just bogging people down, right? Some of the consistent ones, I'm not sure what or how to sell. How many of you guys feel that you're not sure what or how to sell? I'm not sure how to start. I'm not sure what to offer. Getting clients is hard, overwhelmed by all the tools and all the learning. These are just some of the things. In fact, if you want to have a fun time, go into the high level community and just search the word overwhelm. It's pretty funny. It's not funny. It's pretty sad actually, but you'll be really informed potentially by what you see by doing that search. All right, let me ask you a question. How many of you guys today feel overwhelmed? Give me a 1 in the chat if you feel overwhelmed. That's the only emotion I want to isolate right now, is just the feeling of emotion. Give me a 1 in the chat if you guys are feeling overwhelmed. Is that right? All right, let's go. Guys, grab the chat. I'm here for you. One, haven't even started yet. Okay, I get it. I'm here for you guys. Let me know if this sounds like you. Alex, Kevin, Miles, Scott, Wilf, we've got you guys coming. Let's go. Are you guys at all feeling overwhelmed? Or are you guys feeling completely dialed in? Let me know. I'm here for you guys. All right, good news. The journey to clarity is going to start today. All right, fair enough. You guys excited about that? Yeah. All right, let's roll. All right. So focused and overwhelmed. Yes. All right. My name is Sam Carlson. A little bit about me. We won't spend a ton of time on me. I've been an entrepreneur for 20 years. I've been an agency owner for 9 years. Actually just sold my agency 6 months ago. Had a top rated podcast on Facebook. It's called the Next Level Facebook Ads Podcast. I authored a book called New Patient School, the how-to guide for converting more leads into patients. And maybe one of the coolest things in terms of my agency experience is I have a published case study by Facebook Meta, okay? Or in other words, we have our results for my agency published by Meta. And that's not something that you can just get, okay? You have to be approached by them to do that. So I have quite a bit of background as a local lead generation agency, right? But maybe the coolest thing that I've done. These are all cool things. I mean, whatever, let's brag a little bit, okay? But maybe the coolest thing I've ever done as an agency is I built an agency with 100, is actually about 150 SaaS clients. So not agency service clients, but SaaS clients that ran on just 2 part-time VAs, and it took me about 10 hours a week. How many of you guys would like to have an agency like that? Give me a 1 in the chat if that sounds like the agency you want to have. What do you think? All right, sweet. Then once again, you're in the right spot. All right, cool. So there's the question. So here's a promise I'm going to be making to you guys during the workshop today. By the end of the workshop, you will know exactly what to do next. Okay. Because that's the most frustrating thing, is like, let's go through a workshop and then not give any clear call to action next. And you'll no longer be confused on how to proceed. That's promise number 1. Promise number 2, you'll understand why things didn't work in the past. And that is important. Anything that you've done leading up to this, if you do it again, we're going to be failing, but we need to be clear on what we did wrong so we can proceed forward with clarity. All right. And then we're going to replace all of that complexity, all of that overwhelm with agency simplicity. You guys ready to go? Give me a 2. Give me 2 in the chat. I'm changing up the numbers, by the way, just to make sure you guys are on your toes and you are ready to go. Give me a 2 in the chat if you are ready to go. All right. There we go. All right. So here's some ground we're going to be covering today. Solution number 1, the number 1 cause of agency failure and how to flip the success formula in your favor. All right. Number 2, how to reverse engineer your proven agency model / offer and skip all the guesswork, the trial and error. We want to skip all that if we can. Then number 3, the agency hack to go from agency confusion to agency clarity fast. All right. Solution number 1, the number 1 cause of agency failure and how to flip the success formula into your favor. That's what we want to do. So here's a question. Let's open this solution up with this question. What do you think causes most agency failure? Okay, what do you think? I want you to think about it right now. Hold that thought in your head. All right. This section is pre-framed by a story I call The Mortgage Broker Who Almost Failed, and the magazine that saved his butt and transformed near failure into financial breakaway success. Now, this is me back in 2014. Yes, I used to have hair, no hair today. That's me in 2014 when I had quit my job as a bank teller of all things to pursue a career as a mortgage loan originator. Had no background, just jumped into it because a couple of friends of mine who were in real estate were like, dude, you would be amazing at this. You can make a bunch of money. We'll send you all of our deals. So in 2004, I quit my job. I went headfirst into this loan originator career and started learning everything I need to do to become a loan originator. All right. And when I jumped into it, I was super excited, but as soon as things got challenging, and as soon as it was time to start getting those leads, I went to my buddies and I said, hey, how about those leads? Right. And they had nothing. Now, I don't think they did this out of malice, but I think that a lot of times people just talk. And I've always been less about talk, more about do. And so I had gotten out there and I had done this whole thing. And I was ready, but boom, I had no leads. And so for several weeks, I was struggling. I was on the brink of near failure. I would go to my branch manager, Connie was her name. And I'd say, hey, Connie, that was her name. And I would say, hey, Connie, what do I need to do? How do I get customers? And she said, well, you just go to real estate offices and you take them to lunch, you do all this stuff, and then they'll just give you business because of the relationship. Well, I was like 24. I was broke. I didn't have anybody to really, I had money to take to people or take people to lunch. And so I said, all right, well, let's go. I guess I'll do that. And man, I tell you what, I took people to lunches. Nobody was giving me, a 24-year-old kid, their business, right? Until one day. Now, one day I was sitting in the lobby of a Century 21 real estate office. And I don't know if you've ever seen these books where they have all of their listings. Homes and Land are the ones that they have here. And I'm flipping through this magazine and I see all of these agents who I would love to work with, but I can tell either I've already spoken to them or I know already because they have denied me that they wouldn't want to work with me. And so I'm flipping through, just like being, man, what am I going to do? I'm failing. Nothing is working for me. And then in one moment, I flip the page and I see this real estate agent, and her name was Christina. And she was listing homes for first-time home buyers. All right. And I was like, oh, those are government loans. I know loan originators don't want to do those. This is the hard loans. Nobody wants to do this, but I was desperate. I'll do those loans. Right. And then the second thing was all of her listings said, se habla español. And that layered on another level of complexity to where I was like, hey, I know that most loan originators don't speak Spanish. I do. So I called her up and I said, hey, Christina, my name is Sam Carlson. I specialize in government financing, government loans, and I speak Spanish. Do you have anybody that you might need to get approved for a loan right now? And is there somebody I can help? And boom, right there, 5 deals. It was months, weeks of utter failure. And in one moment, I cracked the code to getting business with ease, which was what? Finding a niche. Right? But honestly, it's not enough to find a niche. These are the terms that people use, finding a niche. Okay. It is not enough to find a niche. It is the thing that will make you money is something I call a sub niche. Now let's go through this example. Okay. I was seeking real estate agents. Real estate agents, nobody wanted to talk to me. And then I narrowed it down to real estate agents working with first-time home buyers. That narrowed my pool down, made it more specific. And then the third thing was Spanish speakers. Now, by doing this, I put myself in a category of one. And now selling was a matter of just saying, hey, do you want this offer? That's the thing people don't know about selling. They think selling is this big, you have to have all of this persuasive language or whatever it is. It's nothing to do with that. It's all the offer. And the reason most people sell or fail is because they think this is a niche. They think that real estate agents is their niche. And that, my friends, will never work, especially if you're starting. So when you start with a sub niche, your marketing will absolutely, right out of the gate, by default, be easier. Okay. By default, what you offer to a specific person comes with clarity. And clarity is the friend of conversion, you guys. That is what you need. Okay. And the crazy thing is, all of a sudden, you will go from a a total failure to a total genius. And that one phone call, I never had to make another phone call ever again. The business came to me for years. Let me ask you a question. And I want you to be honest. If you're new or whatever it is, I want you to give me a 1 in the chat. Before just 30 seconds ago, did you think that real estate agents was a niche? Right? Let me just give me a 1. If you thought that that wasn't specific enough, you can give me a 2. Give me 1 in the chat. Yes, 1. Okay, great. So you guys, I'm telling you right now, this adjustment is the first adjustment that you will make that will pivot you in the right direction. You're going to be building right on top of this foundation. This is the most important thing you do right now. Number 1. All right. So what do you think causes most agency failure? That was the question we asked at the beginning. What do you think? No niche, or incorrect niche selection, or in other words, thinking that mistaking a category, i.e. real estate agents, for a niche. You have to get narrow and specific. Okay. That is what makes, that is the barrier to entry. That's the foundation of the house. That's the first thing you got to do. Okay. That's number 1. But in saying that, so in the same breath I say that, I want to say, while niching down can make your agency work, it can also make or break your agency if you don't do it correctly. So I gave you an example, but there are some things that you want to do to make sure that there's enough fundamentals behind it, that there's a growing audience, that there's these different things that will make it so that niche actually works in your favor. All right. So solution number 1, make sure that you don't just choose a niche, but you choose a sub niche. Cool. All right. You guys ready for number 2? Give me a number 1. Give me a chat. No, give me a 2 in the chat if you're ready to see solution number 2, how to reverse engineer your proven agency model and skip the guesswork. All right. The 2s are flying in. Let's roll. Here's a harsh reality. I'm going to break some hearts with this one, I think. The 7-figure agency is a big fat lie. It's a big fat lie. And what I mean by that is there's a lot of information that they do not give you. Most 7-figure agencies are an absolute mess. They have a ton of overhead between people, software, ad, everything. They are like bloated with overhead. They got tons of staff. They have high churn. Okay. They are a rotating door of clients. Every single month, they have to get new clients to replace the ones that left. And they are always putting out fires. And the business model, that business model, the 7-figure agency model, where they're offering all these different crazy things, that model sucks. I will tell you right now, if you want to build that model, you might not want to stick around. This might not be for you. This is my buddy, Daniel Nugent. He built his agency. So last year, 2023, he won the SaaSpreneur Award. He built an agency over 200. Okay. Won the SaaSpreneur Award. He had a 7-figure agency that was humming right along. And then he burnt the entire agency to the ground. He burnt it to the ground. And this is what he had to say about it.
I agree with you there because I am a case study of of selling and doing all the features in high level. I'm guilty of that. And every quarter when sales slows down, we added a new thing. Like, hey, let's start doing social media now. Like, let's pitch that, get some new clients, and then, hey, let's start doing website marketing, landing pages, building landing pages. So so now we got like 200 customer with different Custom projects. Oh my God, it's a nightmare.
You guys, how many of you have done that? Or how many of you didn't know that that was a thing, right? I'll tell you right now, the only reason I can say this is because I built a seven-figure agency just like that. And it absolutely sucked. What I thought versus what reality was, I thought that as you scale, like obviously the more revenue you make, if I get 7 figures a month, which is $83,333, if I get that much money, I'll make more money. So I thought I was going to be making a ton more money. The reality was when you build an agency like that, dude, all you get is headaches, complexity, and everyone else getting your money before you get your money. That is the reality. Okay. Do not make that mistake. Do not make that mistake. Okay. So if you're asking right now, okay, cool. Thanks for the warning. Sam, what do I do? That's a fair question. So instead of making those same mistakes, here's what I decided. Here's how I figured this out. This was what I think this makes sense, but maybe, we just got lucky. Model what success actually looks like. Okay. And we have what we call the addition by subtraction formula. I don't know if you guys seen the Office. What does that even mean?
Addition by subtraction.
What does that even mean? All right. Here's what it means. The real art in business is knowing what to leave out, not what to put in. That is what our success journey looked like for our team. And I got to tell you, it was not easy. Over a year, we went through the addition by subtraction formula. We would say things like, can we remove this? What work that we do matters the most? Or what work are we doing that is going to give the most outsized impact? And who, in fact, is our true customer? Who are our best customers? What do they have in common? And over that year, as we went through that process, it was painful. Our results got better. Our product, i.e. our snapshot, our automations, our workflows got more simple. And our customer retention got way better. It's pretty cool. And that is how I built an agency with 100 plus clients, 2 part-time VAs that took me 10 hours a week to run. And quite frankly, I think 10 hours is probably very generous. I did not spend that much time in that agency, actively in that agency. That's also how Quinn Nolan, my dude, has done the exact same thing. Quinn Nolan has built a $3,000 a month monthly recurring revenue through that same process, that same trial and error. It took him the same amount of time that it took me, maybe longer, but he was one person. And today he has an agency, one-man agency, making $30,000 monthly recurring revenue as a one-man show. That's also how my buddy Alex Machuca built a 350 plus client agency with just a team of 4. And he's got 3 on-call VAs, but we all did it the hard way. Trial and error. Well, let me ask you guys this. Would you rather learn by trial and error? How many of you guys want to go through that same 1-year process to learn all of this? Give me a 1 in the chat if you want to learn by trial and error, if that sounds fun to you. Okay, well, thank you. Nope. Okay, awesome. Or would you rather follow a proven path? Right? Would you rather follow a proven path? So you can use the addition by subtraction formula. You can ask yourself every single day, what work matters most? Can I remove this? Who's my best customer? You can do that over and over and over, or you can model somebody else that did it. All right. Which would you prefer? Solution number 3, you guys, the agency hack. Go from agency confusion to agency clarity and do it fast. Now let's go back for just a minute and understand the true nature of what I started out this webinar with, which was something called agency overwhelm. Remember all of these confused agencies? Remember these? Okay. The people who have been at this for months, not sure how to get customers, not sure what the secret method is, not sure, like there's so much coming at them. In fact, high level has over 300 features, right? All of these things, that complexity. Okay. And then everybody jumps in. So you're confused enough, but now everybody's jumping in. And, quite frankly, there's like proven reports on this. These people jump in and just say stuff for a dopamine hit. It makes them feel good to jump in and participate and tell you things that they're not actually doing. Okay. Now, knowing why none of these are the answer, because that was the answer to all those, is the most important question you will ever answer for your agency. Okay. And I want to start right here. I want to go back and understand why they're all doing this and why so many people are overwhelmed. We're going to solve this right now. This is me. Back in the day, I was a true player from day one. Now, from the time I was a kid, I knew I was a lot different than everyone else around me, especially in school. I did not do great in school. I didn't do terrible in school, but I did not do great in school. It wasn't my jam. Okay. And when I started as an entrepreneur, I had some really quick success. The market was prime for success. You didn't even have to be a very good entrepreneur. And quite frankly, I was not. In 2007, I started a mortgage company. I grew it. I was the third largest mortgage company in Idaho. We crushed it. I was going on fishing trips. I was doing all that kind of stuff. And we were doing great. And then in 2009, the picture of me on the right, we were actually homeless. I got kicked out of my house, was not able to make any money, and had to move back in with my parents, with my 4 children and my wife. And the truth is, entrepreneurship is a boom and bust adventure, it seems like. And honestly, for me, the first part of my first 10, 12 years of my entrepreneurship, it seemed like a lot more bust than boom. How many of you guys feel like this? Give me a 1 in the chat if you have, to this point, felt like it's a bit more bust than it is boom. I hope I don't get any 1s on this one, you guys. But unfortunately, I feel like there's a lot of people who follow this pattern here. Okay. And for me, everything was trial and error. Okay. There was no program or course or anything like that to teach me how to do this. Right. But whenever I would jump in, I would start something new. I felt like I kind of had it figured out, but then something would come in and completely knock me out. Like just like take my legs out from underneath me, derail me entirely. That sucked. Man, that sucked. And all the time I had this constant reminder. It wasn't just me that was putting through all of this struggle, all this pain. I wish it was. But those who loved me deserved a lot more. And being an entrepreneur, it's not all it's cracked up to be all the time. We all want the freedom. We all want the lifestyle. We all want the whatever it is. But it's a lot more challenging than that if you're anything like me. Maybe you've got, it all figured out. But in 2014, something happened. And that's where the solution to entrepreneurship for me changed completely. And I call it looking through the glass window. I took my daughter, my youngest daughter, to a birthday party in downtown Seattle. And this was at the end of I got my legs taken out from me. It was another failed business venture. And I thought I was doing great. And I thought I had it figured out, and boom, I didn't. And here I am at this birthday party looking out through this glass pane window. And I picked this specific glass because the glass was wavy. I don't know if you guys have ever seen like the old wavy glass. And I was looking through that old wavy glass into downtown Seattle, just thinking, dude, freaking did it again. I'm such a loser. Like, honestly, I felt like I was never going to figure it out. And then out of nowhere, this guy, Sonny, comes up, taps me on the shoulder and says, "Hey man, how's it going?" We had a conversation. I said, "Well, I think I'm going to go start up another business. I was thinking about maybe doing this, maybe doing that." And he said, "Why don't you come work with me?" Now, mind you, I didn't know this guy very well. He was the dad of the kid having the birthday party. I didn't know him very well, but he invited me to a seminar that he was teaching that weekend for a group of his clients. And I was so impressed that I was like, dude, I got to do something. Yeah, I'm in. I want to be a part of whatever you're doing. And that was when I found my first mentor. And here's what was crazy. All of those 10 years of experience that 12 years probably, that I'd spent as an entrepreneur, It wasn't for nothing, because all of the points of failure, everything that I had done previously in my career over the next 6 months, all of those points of failure, the lines, it was like somebody started connecting all of the dots. And I started to see the picture of what a career in entrepreneurship was really like. I had a mentor. I had somebody telling me, do this, don't do that. Here's a principle you need to know. You need to acquire this skill. This is what selling is all about. This is how you sell without selling. He started teaching me all of these things, and it started to change my entire outlook on everything. And it only took, that was the crazy thing. I went from not feeling very confident and pretty crappy. And in the next 6 months, I felt bulletproof, to be completely honest. And since 2015, honestly, I have had a track record of only up. I've had a ton of wins. I've had a ton of great success, which I'm so grateful for, but none of it would have happened without one thing happening. So let me ask you this. What changed? What do you think? Grab the chat. What do you think changed? What changed in my trajectory? What is the lesson here of how we can solve and hack our way to success? I found a mentor. It was that easy. Okay. So I want to talk about mentorship for a second. What makes a good mentor? A couple of things. One, they have done what you want to do. Don't ever work with somebody that hasn't already done what you want to do. They just talk a big game. Maybe they're, persuasive, whatever. If they haven't done what you want to do, don't listen to them. Number two, if they can't eliminate guesswork, you're already learning by trial and error. So the whole point of having a mentor is that they say, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Do this, right? If they can't save you time, it's not worth it. You can do it yourself, right? And then learning in sequence. This was one of the things. Remember how I said I started connecting the dots? That's because Sonny started saying, well, here's the law of exchange. Here's how value is created. Here's what it means to sell somebody. He started showing me all these different things, but it was in order. And it didn't take me very long before I was like, oh, this is all making so much sense. And most of all, a good mentor will remove complexity and make things simple. Okay. Leonardo da Vinci says simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. So if we go back to what Steve Jobs said, addition by subtraction, the art is not knowing what to include. It's what to remove. Awesome. Let me ask you guys a question. I want you to internally answer this question in your own minds. What would you be able to achieve if you had a mentor? What do you think? I know that's rhetorical, but just hold that in your mind. What do you think? Let's do a quick recap so we can make sure we're all on the same page. You guys, the number one cause of agency failure and how to flip the success formula into your favor is knowing what a niche actually is and choosing one the proper, correct way. Agreed? Give me a 1 in the chat if you remember that. Okay, are we good? Give me a 1. Yes. Okay. Solution number 2, how to reverse engineer your proven agency model and skip the guesswork. Okay, they're coming in. Awesome. How to reverse engineer your proven agency model and skip the guesswork. All right. Model what works. Number 3, the agency hack to go from agency confusion to agency clarity fast. You guys, the big takeaways in order for you to build an agency that gets clients, makes money, and that is successful is you got to have a proven niche, a proven model, and mentorship. You really do need somebody that has done this before. Okay. So I want to do a quick little pause. Okay. We're going to take a breath right now. We're going to just make sure that we're all on the same page. To this point, you guys, give me a 1 in the chat. Has this been valuable so far? Give me a 1 in the chat if so far you feel like you've gotten value from this presentation. All right. The ones are rolling in. All right, cool. Very, very good. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Alex. All right, very cool. Now, this past hour, I know a lot of you guys, I mean, there's no way we can give you everything you need to know in an hour, right? So a lot of you guys probably feel overwhelmed. Any of you guys feel like this, a little bit overwhelmed? We started there, may as well conclude there. How many of you guys feel, give me a 1 in the chat if you feel a little bit overwhelmed. All right, very cool. Let me ask you a question. Would you like to build an agency like I built, 100 plus clients, 2 VAs, part-time, 5 hours a week, like Quinn built, like Alex built? Would you guys like to build a model, an agency like that? Give me a 2. We're going to test you guys. Give me, I know somebody I got some 1s already, but now, okay, 2s. You guys are on your toes. I love it. All right. Now listen, we all had to do it the hard way. You don't have to. That's the good news. Okay. But as you guys know, you can't learn everything in 1 hour, which is why I create a special offer here for you guys right now. So if you want to hear that offer, let me know. Give me a 1 in the chat. Give me 1 in the chat right now. Let me know. And we will show you how this works. All right. We got those 1s. All right. Let's roll. We're calling this offer the Agency MVP Bundle, Proven Model Plus Mentorship. Now, the whole thing is we're going to take you from overwhelming complexity and confusion to a simple, proven agency model. All right. So here, let's go through what's included. Now, of course, it's going to include everything you need to implement this. Let's just a quick checklist, right? So if you're struggling to find your niche, yeah, we got you. Need an irresistible offer? Yeah, we got you. You want to skip the guesswork? We talked about that. That's important. Yeah, we got you. Okay. Want to simplify your agency? Got you there. And a proven agency model, of course, I just showed you 3 people that did it. That's the model we're building. So yes, it's proven. And then would you like to have support from others? 100%. Who is this for? Well, I'll tell you first off that it is not for people who are all about shortcuts. I see people in these communities every day trying to just say, well, what's the offer? What's the this? What's the that? And all they want to do is take shortcuts. They think that assembling your agency is no skill required. Okay. So if you want shortcuts where you have to learn nothing, this is not for you. But if you can follow a proven plan, then you're in the right place. All right. If you need a Hail Mary or you're finished, I'm sorry, you got to go get a job, right? There are too many people that come into this thing, the agency thing, and they're just like, oh, this has got to work right now. If I don't do it, I'm going to be homeless. You should not be doing this if you are trying to throw a Hail Mary or you're finished. Okay. You want to do the right things. You're committed to doing the right things and you're ready to take the time to do that. And if you have the get rich quick mentality, now here's the crazy thing. We have a lot of people in our program that I would say quick is a very good description word to define what they do. But if you're a schemer, this ain't for you. Okay. We are building real agencies and a real agency provides value to a customer. So if you are into that, okay, if you are a true entrepreneur, then welcome to the team because this is absolutely for you. So the first thing you're going to get, okay, in order to be a true entrepreneur, in order to apply this agency model is number 1, the proven agency model roadmap. Okay. You're going to skip all the guesswork and focus only on what works. So that means you will be getting a 10-week core curriculum. We map out everything we did. In that year of trial and error, the guesswork, all of those things, we went through and we documented all of the things that we did. So you don't have to go through the year and you can go through it in 10 weeks. Okay. You can learn it and apply in sequence. And what I mean by that is the program is designed for you to do this in week 1, this in week 2, and so on and so forth. And if you do those things right in sequence, you will end up with the model that we've been discussing here today. We will also teach you specific skills that are designed to help you build an agency. Now, I know a lot of the people who jump into communities and like maybe they do feel like, oh, all I do is learn. I understand why you would be hesitant because there's a lot to learn, but we're going to teach you what you need to learn. And we're going to do it over that 10-week program. And honestly, it's an A to Z agency roadmap. It's high level simplified and it's UpHex simplified. It is literally my agency, the one that took me a year, in a box. Okay. Then let me ask you this question. What would you pay me to tell you the things that I learned for a full year? What would you pay me? I can tell you what it cost me financially. What would you pay me for me to just dish it to you on a silver platter? It's in there, right? It's all in there. So here's what you're getting, you guys. You're going to get the MVP core curriculum with everything, my roadmap, how we built this agency. It's all included in there. Total value for just the core curriculum of $2,000. Okay, cool. All right. That's solution number one, is the actual on-demand learning. Number two, customer acquisition. Okay. The MVP client formula, how you can acquire your first customers and then acquire customers in batches. How would you like to get 10, 15, 20 customers in one single event? Give me a 1 in the chat if that sounds awesome. Or if you want to just sell 1-to-1 all the time, that's cool too. I don't care. All right, give me 1 in the chat if that sounds awesome. All right. The MVP client formula, we have an on-demand course to allow every piece of the agency offer, everything you're going to need. So you're going to get an irresistible offer. Okay. You're going to see how to assemble yours. And by the way, not create yours, assemble yours. That's very deliberate, the choice of words I used. Number 2, proper pricing. Number 3, you will learn how to sell one-on-one. It's super easy. If you follow this program, you do it right. But we're also going to show you how to sell one-to-many. Now, once you master selling one-to-many, it's crazy what you can do with your business. And we're also going to show you how to get qualified customers. Most people go out there and throw out these cheeseburger offers, whatever it is. They don't throw out irresistible offers. And because of that, they get all these cheaples. Or in other words, they get the broke people. They get the people who are looking for a guarantee. They get the people who are looking for a deal. They get the people who are price shopping them. You want qualified, awesome customers for your agency. And there is a formula for that if you know how to lead with value, right? And I know when people say lead with value, it's like so pie in the sky, it makes no sense. But we will show you how, in fact, to do that. Now, here's what's crazy. When I see agencies out there, maybe your agency, maybe other agencies out there, I see a lot of people struggling to get clients. And here's what all of them miss. They don't know this. 60% of your results are going to come from your list, the list of prospects and customers you build over time. 30% will come from your offer. And then 10% will come from the message and copy and offer and all that kind of stuff. You see how much time people spend on their copy and their messaging and all that kind of stuff? I'm not saying it's not important, but here's what I'll tell you about my own agency. When I had my agency, okay, whenever we needed new customers, this was my exact process. Step 1, I would send an email, okay, to my list. Step 2, I would get as many clients as I needed. And step 3, I would turn the funnel off when I was happy. That's how easy it was. I had customers on demand, and the formula in the MVP is what this is all about. If that sounds awesome, give me a 2 in the chat. Or if you guys like struggling to get clients, you don't have to say nothing, right? I don't care. You can struggle to get clients. All right. All right, cool. So here's what you're getting, you guys. You're going to get the core curriculum, $2,000. It's got my agency in a box, all mapped out on there, in sequence, learn week by week, the MVP client formula, how to get customers, lead with value, and eventually sell one-to-many, total value. And honestly, the client formula, I put $4,000. Dude, you get one customer. Is that not worth that all by itself? Absolutely. Total value $6,000. So far you're getting the core curriculum and the client and the MVP client formula. What else do you need? Well, we've got several things that you're going to need in order to do this successfully. So the third thing we're going to give you is the proven agency snapshot. Now, what I mean by the agency snapshot is not just your agency snapshot, but also your sub-account snapshot with all the features available in high level. And like I said earlier, there are well over 300 features that presumably you would have to learn all of them if you wanted to do this model or own an agency. But what combination of features is going to be the most compelling and is the one that people want to buy? Once it's set up properly, what do you need? So you get both the agency lifestyle snapshot, so that's your agency snapshot, as well as the simplified sub-account snapshot. Everything is pre-built and proven, okay? We remove all the complexity, so we do not have 300 features in there. In fact, we have probably less than 20 in there, okay? We give you all the proper workflows and automations. Everything is easy to adapt. You go in there, change it, adapt it to your agency. And oh, by the way, because I know many of you have probably been through this buy a snapshot before, as a bonus for people who want to do this setups the snapshot, the agency snapshot, the lifestyle snapshot, as well as sub account snapshot, we are going to include a done for you snapshot setup. You simply add us as a user to your account, and we will make sure we will set it up for you, or we will make sure that what you've set up is already set up properly. You guys, that one thing all by itself should be worth everything. I mean, how many of you guys have already spent thousands of dollars doing this? I'm guessing a few of you. I know people that have spent a ton of money in just this one thing. If you're like me, the one thing that will kill my confidence in sales right now, I'll tell you right now, my biggest confidence killer is not feeling dialed in, bulletproof about my product. Okay. So not only are we giving you the snapshots, but we will also make sure that they're set up properly for you. How cool is that? Give me a 1 in the chat if you think that us not only having the snapshot, but also getting that setup help is rad. Give me a 1 in the chat. Let me know. I mean, maybe it's not rad to you guys. I don't know. What do you think? All right. All right. There we go. So here's what you're getting. The MVP core curriculum, $2,000 in value. Dude, that's my agency and that's my plan. Everything we built over a year, $2,000. That's crazy. The client formula, $4,000. The agency lifestyle and simplified sub account snapshot, as well as done for you account setup, making sure it's set up properly. Right there, there are people selling this exact thing for more than $4,000, and that's included in this offer. Total value of $10,000. And right now, you're thinking to myself, wait a minute. I get all of this. What else could I possibly need? I know you guys are thinking that, right? What else could you possibly need? Well, here's things that I know about myself and I know about others. We knew 2 things that people do learn differently. Some people are cool to just jump in, self-directed, learn everything they need to know, and just get through this thing. We have plenty of people that learn that way. Other people are better at in-person learning. And quite frankly, that for me is a big one, is learning like the proximity, being around others who are also trying to do it and getting that support and that help. And so as another solution to help you guys build this agency model, you're going to get both the live mentorship and agency community. Here's what that looks like. You're going to get the help and support of agency pros who have already built this exact model and scaled past 100 agency clients. Okay. That's a big one. Okay. And what's included in this is number 1, weekly live coaching. Okay. You get an exclusive community with people that are doing the exact same thing. You get focused learning. And once again, you're around real agency pros. Now we've got a cool one this month. We actually made a new addition to MVP. When MVP launched, it was the people who built my agency, including myself, the partners in that agency. Those were the people that were teaching this model. But this month, we're introducing a new agency coach named Alex Machuca. Okay. This is my buddy, Alex. Alex was actually one of our original users in UpHex. He's come in and absolutely crushed it. This is him speaking at, I can't remember which, it's at some mortgage NAM maybe. It's him speaking in front of a group of loan originators and showing them the power of his SaaS platform. He has this niche locked down. The name of his agency is Lead Hackers. Like I said, he was an original UpHex guy. He scaled his agencies to 7 figures, over 350 SaaS clients, not just agency clients. If you like, when you join the program, you'll learn more about him. He had an agency prior to this model that was doing $500,000 a month in revenue. Okay. Jumped over this SaaS model and is absolutely crushing it with the model that we've been talking about here today. He is definitely an industry expert. And you guys, the way I look at it, not only do I and my team bring what you need to know, Alex is bringing his insights and what you need to know. But honestly, everybody in the program is in it together. Okay. This is Sandra. She's asking about something specific, A2P related. Okay. You want to ask questions about that? Fine, go ahead. We've got partnership. We got people making strategic alliances in the program because one guy is good at sales, the other is good at fulfillment, and they've partnered up and now they're building an agency which is going to crush it. Okay. What about advice? Okay. You want advice? We're all in this together. Okay. And then you know, whether maybe you got some specific stuff, ad agency, video versus photo creation, what works best. Okay. They're all doing the same thing. May as well get feedback from people actively building the same business you are. So here's what you're getting. We're going to do a quick recap. You're going to get my agency model, the core curriculum on demand, 10-week program, $2,000 value. MVP client formula, learning how to get clients in both one-on-one and in batches. You're going to get that value, $4,000. Agency lifestyle and simplified sub account snapshot. Instead of trying to learn all the 300 features in high level, you will get the ones that you need. We will make sure that they're set up properly and that you feel confident in your product. So you can get out there and know that nothing's going to break. You're just going to be like, you're going to be dialed in. Okay. Total value, $4,000. Again, people are selling that exact thing with more complexity for more money. A lot of times they got to come back and it still doesn't work. Live weekly coaching, community coaching, and learn from agency pros like Machuca, like myself, and like my team, as well as others that will be added into the formula here as we go along. Total value of $15,000. And quite frankly, I think that this value, where we're at right now, is like low. I think I've undervalued this so far. Okay. But I want to just ask you guys a very straightforward, simple question. You all have your own agency experience right now based on where you're at. So if all this thing did for you, if all it did was teach you how to create a winning offer, you just learned how to make an offer. If all you learned to do was just make an offer, would it be worth it? Okay. If all it did was give you a proven agency snapshot. Again, people are paying lots of money to get a snapshot for both their account as well as their sub accounts, and something that was proven by a real agency that had already done this. Would it be worth it? If all it did was give you access to people that had actually done this, so you could ask questions instead of going into these groups and these communities where people are just throwing out like stuff that it's probably completely irrelevant. You want to get off track, go ask something in a group and take their advice. Great. You get what you pay for. If all you were able to do was get the value of asking a true pro, would it be worth it? Let me ask you that right now. And if all you could do was get a couple clients using one of our sales funnels, would it be worth it? Cool. Agency owners like you are already using this. This is Lori, not a great salesperson. I think she would be the first one to admit it. Here's what she had to say by joining MVP.
Hey Sam, I got my first roofing client. He's signed up on the call and paid. So I'm all good. Heather actually helped me because I asked her about onboarding and she said, take the payment on the phone. So I did that and had my form all ready and we're going. Yeah, it was like 20 minutes. He actually like stopped me. He's like, we're good. I want to pay. Let's go. So yeah, sometimes it's just that easy. I love it. This is Gary Rieger, and Gary's been in the agency space for a while now, right? And ups and downs. I'm sorry about the video quality on this one, but you guys got to hear what he said. Listen to this.
Sorry, businesses in my niche who are promoting dry eye. And damn, it turns out one of them had a freaking call scheduled with me today. And I just closed them, dude. I don't know, man. This is like, it can't be this easy. I know there's the whole other side of it with fulfillment, and I'm ready for that to the best I can at this point. But damn, man, it's really, really working well.
Awesome. And then Daniel. So Daniel was the guy that burned his agency down. I really want you to pay attention to this one because this one is actually kind of crazy. So listen to what Daniel has to say.
But it's been great, man. I mean, I never felt like this in my past 4 years of being an entrepreneur and being like a funnel hacker, you know, from ClickFunnels, and buying, you know, and picking a new industry and know nothing about it and figuring out their status quo, do research, and then when we launched the offer, it bites. It's just like we brought, you know, you're teaching about, yeah, you don't want to put a yacht in a small lake, right? So
I love the phrase he used. he was in a brand new niche. He changed agency niches completely, did his proper research, the way we teach in the program. They create an offer and it just bites. He was doing 20 demos, or he was scheduling 20 demos a day with that offer right as soon as he went through that program. And you guys, the wins keep coming. You got Lewis. Lewis was an architect, overthinker, analytical guy, great guy, got his first 6 bookings. He had a crazy story, but he's in there crushing it now. And there's Daniel, second day of running this offer. Holy smokes, I can't believe we booked 20 demos in just one day. I just told you that. All right. And then you got Andrea from Italy, getting clients in Italy and focusing on what we teach in the program. The last weeks I've acquired 3 new clients, and new clients will start this week. It's no coincidence. We're all at the beginning, but I am sure we're on the right path. And then Robert says, thanks, Sam. Couldn't have done it without MVP. You guys, if you look at the marketplace and people who are doing coaching programs and who are, I mean, everything, like, honestly, there's so much high ticket right now. And what people are finding is that many of these high tickets, they anchor these prices like to 20, 30, 40, 50 grand, and the value just is not there. But the honest to goodness truth is this. When I looked at what we had created, I had 2 choices. Okay. I legitimately know, I know what we have in terms of value there. I know what is there in terms of value. Number one, I had one option to say, I'm going to price this thing really high. And I'm going to make it so I work with like people who are really committed and are really ready to go. And you know, people that have larger budgets. It'll just work with fewer people, but it'll be a better like overall outcome potentially for me financially. Yeah, I don't know. The second one, make this program affordable for anyone and be able to help more people. Feel like that's kind of our mission. I feel like that's what we're here to do, you guys, to be completely honest with you. Now, I had originally thought, and if you look back at when we went into beta in this program, I had thought that maybe we'd sell this at $5,000. And while the value, you can see the aggregate value is well worth $5,000. Here's what we're going to do. We're not going to do $5,000. Okay. We're going to price this today at $19.97. Okay. $1,997. Just go to myagencymvp.com. Okay. Now you guys stick around. I got a couple more things I want to walk through with you guys. But if you've been kind of poking around the bush a little bit and you already know that MVP is for you, you've seen some of the case studies, myagencymvp.com, go ahead, check it out. And we will, I'll tell you what to do here in just a minute. All right. But wait, there's more. I want to make sure that anybody who's on right now, that you are rewarded. Okay. So I want to ask you a question. How would you like to be able to talk with me one-on-one? Okay. This is a fast action bonus. Action. People who are willing to like say, hey, this is a fit for me. I want to do this. Let's go. The first 5 people are going to get one-on-one video chat channels with myself personally. Okay. And basically what that means is if you have a question, you literally can say, hey, Sam, as an example, what do you think about this offer? Okay. And then I'll see like, I like it. Try this. Here's a couple of things that I've seen work in my own experience, right? You guys, I absolutely love action takers. They are the people who win every single time. In fact, in that picture right there is Isabel, and she's an action taker, right? So if you are an action taker, go to myagencymvp.com, check out right now, and the first 5 people are going to get this. Let me just recap what's all included for those of you who are on still, okay? You're going to get the core curriculum. This is my agency in a box. It is 1 year of trial and error. It is like everything that you need to build this agency model. You're going to get my MVP client formula. So this is learning to sell one-to-one with ease. And by the way, you saw Lori. Lori was not a gifted salesperson. She learned how to sell with this exact formula. So you're going to learn how to sell one-to-one, but you're also going to learn how to sell one-to-many. It's an absolute game changer. Total value, $4,000. And then you're going to get, remember Steve Jobs said, it's not the art is not knowing what to add. It's knowing what to not add. The agency lifestyle and simplified sub-account snapshots set up for you. Total value, $4,000. People are already paying more than that for just this. And then live weekly coaching, community, and you'll learn from pros like myself, my team, and of course, new coach, Alex Machuca. And for the first 5 people, you're going to get a fast action bonus of one-on-one video chat, live mentorship with me, total value of $20,000. Okay. Now, the nature of any buying decision is because you haven't purchased already, you can't make a 100% like informed decision. You can't know exactly what you're getting until you get into the program. So we have what's called the buy inside guarantee. When you buy Agency MVP, you buy with absolute confidence. If you jump in there and you're not seeing what we've talked about here in this program, you're not seeing the snapshots, you're not seeing, value in what we're doing. If you're not happy, I'm not happy. Okay. So if you get in the program and you feel like it's not a fit for you, just message our team and we'll help you take the next steps. Fair enough? I feel like that's a pretty simple guarantee. So price this month is $19.97. You're getting everything that's included there. Go to myagencymvp.com. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on a timer. Now I know I've seen the chat kind of a buzz here for just a minute. So if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat and grab a quick drink of water here real quick. And over time, we've gotten this thing dialed in. So if you don't have any questions, we can move on to what to do next. By the way, if you've already purchased and you want to know what to do next, hold on. I have specific instructions for you so we can make sure you get your fast action bonus, as well as give you access to the program right away. So did I miss the webinar I had on the calendar? Yeah, sorry if maybe the time had it an hour later, but yeah, it started a bit ago. So there will be a replay, by the way. There will be a replay. So go ahead and yes, it said 3 p.m. Eastern. Okay, well, interesting. We had about half of the people who showed up when we started, and then it looks like we've got about double or triple the amount of people here now. So it's all good. There will be a replay. So all right, what questions do you all have? And I know some of the people who stuck around or who got here maybe an hour late. Maybe this is where maybe you have a lot of questions because you're not sure what we've covered here today. All right. Let's go ahead and see what questions. Any questions? If not, what we can do is we can go to next steps for folks who have already signed up. And if there's confusion on this, I understand that it seems like calendars got a little out of sync. My bad. If that happened, we had about half the folks here an hour earlier. So I'm not sure if 2 invites went out. That we'll have to check that and see what happened. But let's go ahead and keep on moving here. What questions you guys have? Any questions? All right. Okay. Well, it looks like we had some sync issues in terms of the calendar. So let's go ahead. Here's what we're going to do. Oh, it's 9 a.m. in Denmark. Okay, we'll do the replay. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and go to the next slide. And anybody that was here for the first part, we're going to take care of you guys. And then everybody else who showed up an hour or not showed up on time, it looks like, what we'll do is we'll send you guys the replay as soon as it's ready. I'll get it dialed in and sent out to you guys ASAP. Okay. A quick, and by the way, I can see who you guys are. So I will honor the fast action bonus if you go through and you decide to sign up on that. Okay. So to our new MVPers, first off, congrats. Here are the next steps. Okay. If you have gone through the site you've purchased, send me an email, sam@uphex.com. And that's how I'm going to give you access to the one-on-one fast action bonus. I'll give you access to everything else there as well, but send me an email, sam@uphex.com. This offer and replay will expire Thursday at midnight Eastern Standard Time. But once again, if you guys have showed up, it's a little bit late, my apologies. And we'll make sure that you guys get on there and are able to see the replay. All right. Any other questions before we end up here, you guys? Let me know. Let me know. Okay. All right, guys. Hey, thank you so much for coming. My agency, I'm going to go ahead and put the link in here one last time. There you go. There is the link. Go ahead and click on that link real quick, open it up, and you can see the checkout page there. So thank you for everybody. And I'm sorry for any confusion. It looks like we may have sent out an invite with one time and then maybe got changed. I'm not sure what happened. I'm going to have to go back and look at that. But sorry for any confusion. Again, the replay is going out so you guys can see the first part of the training and see how this whole model works. And we'll go from there. So thanks, guys. And we'll see you on the, we'll see you hopefully on the inside of the program. Have an awesome, awesome day. See you guys.